What up? What up? What up? What up, my beautiful folks out here? What up? What up? Yeah, man. What's good? What's good? What's good? Um, I don't remember like the last 2 days when we have the last live. Um, we got caught off pretty bad, and we got we got zapped out from YouTube. And before that, we actually had what you call we got tapped in, we got hacked, and then we got zapped out. So we didn't talk about the movie reviews and stuff like that, like I was saying before. So we about to do that today. So just a little time, just got get everybody in for a little bit. I didn't prepare for this live, like talk about it before we do. So it's gonna be a lot less people in here for the most part. So if you're in there, just share the live. It's just gonna be strictly talking about movies and stuff, because that's my field, that's my genres of stuff, and that's what my profession is. I'm a filmmaker. I was an artist first, doing music and all of that, but my passion was always about filmmaking, because it's much more to it than just movie. It's rituals, and it's actually nation building. So like a little 5-6 minutes, get everybody in here. So we about to go a little bit deep into the movies, and one of the great movies just come out 2 days ago in the Wakaima celebration or ceremonial day. They come out with it. It was not by coincidence. It was all prepped up and prepared. And that movie about to make Netflix history, because it's so dope. It's a dope fucking movie, man. I'm talking about in the perspective of a filmmaker. When you talk about the writing part, the effect part, the actors, all of them meshed together, this is a masterpiece. It's well done. And considered to the budget of the movie, even to the budget part of that movie, it was ritualistic, the budget part. So 5 minutes, let me give a shout out to my beautiful people up in here. So share the live for now. 5 minutes to get, whatever gonna get in here in time or whatever. So let me give shout out and greet my beautiful folks out here. So I got my beautiful sister, Ayana Parks. What's good, beautiful? We got Polly Tripp, bro. I mean, that's my sister right here. We have Sonara Smith. What's good? What's good? What's good? We got Kat Warren. We got Yin Yang in the house. We got Love Wins. We got Smith, XO, Xochitl, whatever. I couldn't say it properly, but what's up, Sister Queen? We got Michael Johnson up in here. What up, brother? What's good? What's good? The Torch in the house. What's good? What's good? What's good? We got Magical Magician Mentor. What's good? What's good? What's good? What else? Jean-Guillaume. Jean-Guillaume, mon frère. Comment vas-tu? J'espère que la famille va très bien. We got Black Flowers, Moonwolf in the house. What's good, Bill? Billionaire fool. What up? What up? What else? Oh, we got my beautiful sister here. I was watching you earlier, baby. What's good? What's good? Kagoli Petit Guinea in the house. Sakafet. Renpam. We got Travis Williams. What up? I think that's pretty much it for the most part. We got Leslie Andre Atkins. What's up? What's up? We got KZ305. What up? What up? What up? 305 in the house. Miami in the house. What's up? We got Sophia JJ up in here. Tiffany Chrism. What's good? Tio Cop, Nick Palm. What's good, bro? What's good? What's good? Food was looking good, bro. Let me get some of that good food of yours, brother. You definitely know how to burn, son. That's what's up. We got Rael in the business. What's good, Ra? What's good? And Steph Crosby. Peace on to you, brothers. All right, now. We about to get through. We about to get through to the process. We about to get to the process. Okay. All right. So now let me just get it in. Like, okay. Now, first of all, we was talking about movies, and I want y'all to know, and I want most people to know, the movie industry or the film industry itself, this is not a game. It's not a game. Hollywood run the world. Hollywood rules the world because of one reason. Hollywood tapped into to the real world. See, I want people to know that when they say pay attention is pretty much where the energy shift. When they said pay attention, you put your energy, you shift your force field to what they want you to do. So when you talk about Hollywood, let's just think about our condition, because I want to use the science or using the system of filmmaking and apply it to our everyday activities and see how they both work hand to hand, and pretty much what was lacked of and what caused us as a whole to struggle as a whole. Okay. Now, how Hollywood and Voodoo is one and the same. I want people to know that. Understand, movies it's pretty much a pre-projecting future. When you watching a movie, it's pretty much you tap into the force field of the future. That's one side of it. When you watching the movie, you pretty much get to what your imagination. Imagination mean the Magi nation. So the movie industry tap into your imaginations. And what is these nations? These nation is pretty much your energy. That's one, because your energy moves that nation. Number two, they are tapped in your essence. That's two. And the three, they are dealing with your spiritual science. Those are the 3 steps of what the movie pretty much do. They tap in your imagination. I told you, the Magi, what the more, which means magie, the imagination. So they tap into that world. And that world is consisted of 3 steps. It consisted with your force field, which means your attention. That means all your life force is given straight to it. So they captive your life force. Number 2, they are dealing with what you call your essence. The essence is what made you. So they tap into your essence. And number 3 is pretty much what you call spirit world, where your ancestors reside. So when you heard these terms, acting, and you gotta act. Act is a light form of possession. Acting, it's a light form of possession. It's almost you trying to act like, a spirit. For an example, perfect example, the Joker. When you watch Batman, the Joker is Baron Criminal. Baron Criminel, c'est Joker. The first Joker was Jack Nicholson. After Jack Nicholson played the Joker, he was around occultists. Because remember, I told you people that run Hollywood, they are no small time people. Okay? And I want y'all to know today, after we have this little gathered or this little live today, I want y'all to know these folks y'all be sleeping on, calling white people, because ain't no such thing as white. It's an expression of existence. But we seems to classify humanity in different class. So I'm just gonna use it in that. What you call white people or what you call Jews, those are not small motherfuckers out here. Okay? These are people that know what they doing. They know who you are, and they know your spiritual world like a motherfucker. And your ancestor spirit is pleased by a lot of the shit they do. I'm going to go deeper to explain more to you. So when you see movie like Batman, and Batman always killing, it's one of these franchise that can never die. And I mean, you have a lot of movies that to a periodic timetable, the movie die off where, people have no sense of interest. We keep watching Batman. In Batman, we keep almost watching the same shit to keep recycled, but for some reason, we still attached to it. That's like this shit can never die off or can go away, because Batman is the story about our ancestors. Any movies that stay strong, that always, every time it came out, it do good, it's because your ancestors have to do with it. It's a magical movie. These folks study occultists. They study knowledge. They know who we are. The magical world, the whole Disney, all the shit, they tap on your ancestors. But the truth is, they always, remember, it's almost like you got a student. You the master. You teach a student. While you teaching the student throughout the time of learning, the student have his own touch. Even though you teach them how to do certain things, but the student's still going to have its own individual ways of doing things. So basically, these folks have some perversion shit going on at the same time. So that's why a lot of shit they do, like, what the fuck? Like, nah, fuck that. I won't be down with that. Because they still gonna have their own touch into it. And they have a lot of perversion shit. But what I want you to know, they know some shit. That's all I'm going with this. They not clueless. They know what the fuck they doing. And these folks, we should not take these people lightly, folks. We should not sleep on Hollywood or thinking like these motherfuckers just, no, they not happen to be where they at just because they just happen to be. No, these people know shit. And they've been fucking with our ancestor spirit for a long time. While we slacking, while we joking, while we sleeping, while we in hibernation, these folks is doing the real fucking deal, Holyfield shit. They are doing the shit right. Anyway, I'm just going with, like I said before, an acting role, it's a light form of a possession. That's why they said acting. So I'm me, and they tell me to become something else, to become a character that's such and such and such. So you have to mold yourself into the character. This is a form of a light possession. So off bat, this approach in movie should tell you where they're going with it. That alone. So Jack Nicholson knew about the role he was playing. He was playing Baron Criminal. And from what? From the dead. So if you're trying to play a role of a spirit that, again, we keep saying that, oh, it's a lot of white people, this white people, but Jack Nicholson survived them. You know what that means? And this lineage down the line, he probably has black. It's not probably, it's fact. Every white people come from black people, but that's a time table. Like, okay, all along you've been washing out that melanin out of you. If it's 7 generation removed completely, like it's completely Euro, and it's like all along that melanin been staying around until you remove it completely through genetic, crossing. Like you constantly breeding with white, and then all along it takes. Some white folks, it's only 4 generations away from being white. Some 3, some 2. So you still have the melanin, because what the melanin pretty much do is the link. The melanin is a resonance. The melanin is a frequency. It's almost like an antenna. The stronger your melanin is, the more you can communicate, the more you can pull these spirits around you, the more these ancestral spirit is still around you, because you have that force field that pulled them down. That's what your melanin do. Your melanin is a receiver. So you can broadcast these ancestors from distance, and they can see you too. Because understand, we have a lot of people in Haitian's family. I take myself as an example. I said that before. For an example, a lot of us, we probably born in the family that the family removed this practice away from us. Like, most of them, when they come to the United States, they feel like they want to be progressive. Like they don't want to be dealing with voodoo no more. They feel like they want to be born Christian, and they left the shit away. So when they said they ain't fucking with voodoo, it's pretty much mean they not communicate with the ancestral realm anymore. They just shut that down. But what they don't know, that even if you decide to say, no, you're not dealing with the spirit, these children you give birth to, a lot of them probably born with a stronger frequency. So they are light children. What you call light children is that children that's born, the ancestral realm sees them. That means when the children is around, the ancestors saw them. So they light force around them. These spirit identify that baby or that child. So therefore, all the attention of these spirit gonna come right after this child. So therefore, this child gonna have hardship in life, because whatever the spirit, whatever contract, I call it contract, it's a form of explaining. Whatever deal that spirit have with your lineage, with your grandfather, grandmother, what if they ask them for something that they didn't fulfill it? Probably asked for like a gold ring or anything. They didn't fulfill it. Their child that they see, they want their child to fill their hole. That means all this responsibility gonna fall on their child. So their child have to answer for all of these ancestors that failed to do so. Because of what? The lineage melanin that's intact. So even your parent didn't agree, that's them. The spirit gonna choose whoever they see, because whoever got that force energy, that force field that's active, they see that person and they identify with it. So what I mean by that, a lot of these white folks we saw out there, most of them, that's why once you saw a white person with black eyes and black hair, they have a strong lineage of melanin that's not completely removed. It's mostly blonde hair, blue eyes, that the melanin is damaged. That's what you get, albinism. It's a form of albinism. But once they have black hair and eyes, it's fact. That means the melanin is still there. Okay? That's no debating. So they not completely we move that what you call the antenna, or we move that frequency band that's still inside of what you call the melanin is the receiver. So the spirit can attach around them, or the spirit can do favors to them. So now Jack Nicholson, the reason why he never want to play a Joker ever again is because because they told them, these occultists know. You know how many celebrity that been traveled to Haiti? A lot in secrecy. A lot of them take boat ride. They go straight to the boat. A lot of them go to Cuba, then from Cuba to Haiti. A lot of them go to Dominican Republic, from Dominican Republic to Haiti. They go do a lot of work. A lot of them. A lot of them go to Jamaica, from Jamaica to Haiti and boat. So they've been doing this shit a lot, okay? So it's one of these things. Give me a second. Yeah. So it's one of these things that a lot of people have no idea who are these celebrities or who's running Hollywood. These folks know shit. I remember like 3 years ago, I was working on a company that dealing with auto parts and stuff. So I used to go deliver parts to a company, but this company is a guy, he have a garage and he pretty much fix, boat and other stuff. And this guy is a hell angel. I'm talking about a hell angel. These bikers, you would consider racist and shit. Cool guy as hell, cool guy. And I told him I was Haitian. He was laughing at first. I'm thinking like, is he just trying to be on some sort of a joke or trying to start on some racist shit? But then he said, nah. He's like, let me show you something. I said, what? He showed me like they do what you call a point. He have like a god. A god, it's a jury they forge for him. And that jury, I'm gonna get there. I'm just trying to show you something so we can go straight to movie. So they forge a jury for him. He showed me that he have a ring. I said, what is that? He said, you don't know what that is? I'm just like, because I really don't know. I don't know where he's gonna take the conversation. He said, you know about voodoo? I'm like, duh. He said, yeah, I'm Haitian. Of course I know about voodoo. He said, so you don't know about this ring? So automatically I'm starting to realize, like, okay, I see where he's going with it. I said, so what's up with that? He said, look, man, let me show you some more picture. He showed me picture that he's been in Haiti in the 80s. Hell Angel, one of the active big time members. He's been in Haiti. I said, why you go to Haiti? Show me a bunch of pictures of different places he's been around. He said, I have to go there because we have gangs like, bikes rival issues. So I have to go to Haiti to make sure I'm protected. So he went down there to do work. This guy's a rich guy I'm talking about. You will never dare to think he's involved in this shit. He went out there and do it. That's one. Did you guys ever heard about Selassie? Selassie take a trip to Haiti to go visit Papa Doc. Most people don't know that. Selassie went out there. People think it was just for fun when he went there. Selassie was getting persecuted. So he went to Haiti to do work because he was getting persecuted. Papa Doc going out there and trying to put him in there because they believe Papa Doc has something to do with Kennedy at that time, because they said that he was the force behind getting Kennedy out from the system because he was so-called, because he always was possessed by the Gede. So they call him Papa Doc because they used to call him Papa Gede. So he always got the hat like a baron. They said most of the time he always possessed. So he become the spirit in one flesh. The spirit always there. He always possessed by the Lord. So Selassie went there to get God, to put, to do what Haitian will call al point, al mit God souli. So he went out there to do some work to protect himself from all these persecution he was receiving. So they've been knowing this land for a long time for that particular reason. This is the land of the spirit. This is the land of energy. And I want people to know, when you heard spirit, I'm going to break it down to the scientific level of it. What is a spirit? Do not focus on the term spirit. Focus on what it is. When you said spirit, people probably argue you down thinking like, yo, it means breath, whatever Latin, whatever the name was, it doesn't matter. What spirit mean? It's an energy force field. It's an orb. For an example, Earth, it's a living organism. Okay? Earth, it's pretty much a motherboard from a computer. All right? The motherboard have different functions of it. Okay? So while Mother Earth have different function, you have what you call datas. Okay? So if you live, you die, the essence, the animator, what you call the animation, the thing that animates your body, the essence. The essence come out of you. Most of the time, the different way the essence goes. Some essence decide to stay around. Some essence decide to just rehabit a body. and there are different styles of body. There's human body, animal body. It can go anywhere it went because of it's all depend to what area that before the essence died, what area it was, what type of energy that was around, and include the mindset of that energy before it shift away from that force field or shift away from the body itself. So what you call spirit is a gathering of energy that condense around you. Some people attract these energies. Some people have a force field around, or like your essence yourself. All of us is human, but what makes us human is different. All of us do not come from the same force field. Some of us come from a force field of animal that first time become human. Another of us probably in the bacteria, subbacteria level that just jumped into your human body. And some of us was occupy higher realm that come to this lower realm for different condition. Some of us come here to help this realm. Some of us come here to fulfill different things that we didn't fulfill from our past life. We still feel like we attached to it. Perfect example, most of our black people, most of us come from that time of fulfillment. Most of us was slave from a period of time, was struggle. We feel like we got to live the life. We couldn't have this and we could have that. So we come back here just to live that materialistic lifestyle because we couldn't have it from then. That's why nigga kill you. That's why we do the dumb shit for the typical bullshit. Because most of us come from that perspective of fulfilling what we couldn't have in the periodic timetable. So we come to fulfill this shit. It's fact. There's no debating. And we got other one. A lot of us also come from the builders. Now, what is the builders? The builders is a group of soul that come here to make sure that they bring certain consciousness into the planet to evolve the planet. Because if this planet evolve, they will become evolve also. Some of us are stuck to a higher realm. That realm will not move forward till we fix the lower realm. So a lot of us come here to fix this bitch so the chains start to move forward so it gets triggered down the other realm so everything start to spin like a piston in a car. It's fact. There's no debate that part. So what I mean by that, when Hollywood was getting their leg, like when Hollywood started to expand its territory, they went to Haiti to make the first horror and the first zombie movie. It called White Zombie. It was done in Haiti. Okay? It was done in Haiti. And again, one of the most prestigious name in Hollywood to ever receive some sort of validation, and you get some, what you call Oscar. When you heard the term Oscar or reward, Oscar Michaud was a Haitian guy. His name was Oscar Michaud. So they immortalized him because of the spirit that was around him. Now, let's go deeper to the stories of movies. So, like I said before, Jack Nicholson get the one up. They told him, look, this role, you keep playing this shit, your life force will be drained. He heard it. He ain't trying to be hard-headed. Guess what? He followed the word. He allowed himself to be humble and follow people that give him the proper knowledge. And he didn't play it. And guess what? He saved. It's the same shit he warned Keith Ledger. They said, look, man, if you play this shit, you ain't going to make it. But he want to make history. He go ahead and play Baron Criminel. And this force got drained the fuck out. Because, again, it's acting. Acting is a light form of possession. And that was what his greatest acting role ever. Like, this guy, shit. Ain't no better joker than he was. I mean, this shit was crazy good. But that's the consequence. The reason why he was so great, he become Baron Criminel himself. So when you have these energy coexist with your energy, remember, these energy are what you consider a form of immortality around your force field. When you become a Loi, you become immortal. So you do not occupy a physical flesh, but you have the ability to do it in and out, but you still exist in the light realm. So when they coexist inside of you, they go into what you consider a collision of soul. So you have another energy jump inside of you. So now when they spend in that long period of time, because making a movie takes time. Some movie take a year and a half, some 2 years. So every time they said action, you becoming that spirit. Action, you become. So that spirit constantly drain you, constantly taking a piece of you, take a piece of you, take a piece of you. Guess what? When it's all said and done, you done. So this is Hollywood. When they said lights, camera, action, this is a form of a ritual. They are summoning spirit. And when you said action, you are becoming a light version of a possession. So we get that part. Now let's go to the movie I was just talking about before. We get into the Project Power. Now, this movie itself, the funding part, when we get to Project Power, when you think about the funding, this movie cost 85 million. So even when you go to the process of the funding part, 85 gives you 13. So that itself is symbology telling you that you have a group of people from the start of making this movie, they take the approach of what we call a cultist approach. So they already taken step of spirituality off bat. They're like, okay, we got to take the shit. Because, you know, from the time you make the movie, from the month you release it, the time you release it, the amount of money and certain actor you pick to play, all of this is a ritual. It's what we call what? A ceremony. When you're in the movie set, because I deal with these things. See, that's why black folks, we not even in the seat in the table when it comes to movie. And I tell people all the time, movie dictate what nation moving forward and what nation is falling. Movie is the compass of what your nation's gonna be or what race it's moving forward. Pay attention to movie, you're gonna know where the force is about to be or what force is about to move up or down. When you're making movie is a form of a small government. When you on set, pretty much set is large. We're talking about hundreds of people, 60, 70, or sometimes 100 and more. And each individual played a role. It's almost like a government. Each of us have a position to play. And when you're looking at our condition as black people, that's why we're not doing good in movie, because we are too motherfucking chaotic and we don't know how to get the fucking together. I mean, every single set I've been dealing with, it's mostly white people or Asian or the Latino. Black is the minority. It pisses me the fuck off because most of these stories is our story. And the fact is, when you think about the Hollywood industry, we don't even doing nothing. We ain't even scratched the surface to how much movie we can make ourselves or about our story. We don't even start doing anything for ourselves yet. But we still playing games though. You know why? Because one thing that it's constant among our community, as far as, you know, when we talk about black and Latino, but I want to just focus on us because Latinos doing good right now in the film industry. And the Spanish version of their stuff, they making huge fucking progress. Us, we digressing. In the era we was going up, we talking about, I was born in the 80s. There was a lot of movie in the 80s. I think black people was doing better in the 80s. But the question is, while we think we was doing good, it was mostly a lot of white people investing in these black films. So when you happen to find out it was a lot of white people investing in these black films, you're like, oh shit, what the fuck we was doing all this time? Nothing. So we are in the last seat in Hollywood movie industry. Now let me explain this part. When you go on set, not only I told you it's a small government because everybody occupy a role, every single person on that set is happy serving their role just fine and happy doing so. You have guys, just their job is to just bring water and they fucking proud to just bring the water. No question. They are happy doing it. They're not seeing themselves lesser than the next person. They just feel like I'm happy and I'm blessed to be around this project because at the end of the day, my name's going to be in the credit just to bring water. That's just one part. You have person just doing the food, just the food alone. You have other one just, their job is to make sure they're watching where they put the equipment because these equipment expensive. So their job, if this equipment was in a wrong place, someone probably just hit it and it fall. They make sure they're just to show you minimum, everybody play a role. When you get to our asses, nigga, everybody want to be a fucking director. Nobody want to just like, you know what? Let me bring the water. Nobody, we constantly beefing with each other. We never want to be able to play a role. Like, okay, if you good at doing that, do that. But even if you don't know how to do that, just be out there giving some positive energy. Let's just do it. That's our problem. And that's why we're not doing good in movie, because that part play a role. In order to make these big time movies, we need to find each other's role and we need to respect each other's role. That's our problem. Everybody want to be the headshot. Nobody just want to take a position and let the shit go, and we can do it together. Let's just see the end project, not trying to be fighting for titles and names. Let's just try to get this project moving. And that's what we've been struggling for the longest. That's one. Number two is the funding of these projects. We don't know how to get money together. See, when you're making a movie, you need a producer. The producer job is to try to help get the funding going. So how to get the funding going? It's pretty much loan. You can get a loan. There's several ways you can get a loan. But how many of us willing to sacrifice ourselves to get a loan? So like I was saying before, we don't want to sacrifice ourselves in order for the greater good of each other. Because niggas don't want to do that. We only think for the day. That's all niggas care about. Think for the day. We're not thinking about the future. So our not getting together is hurting us in every facet of the game. So when you heard you're a producer, a lot of producers, they have to put a lien on their house. They put a collateral on the house just to get a loan from the bank to do it. And producer umbrella is huge. Now, you probably have 4 or 5 producers put heads together and say, all right, man, I'll put a lien on my house so I can get this loan. Okay, let's just make a small movie. All right, so all of them get together. They're like, okay, one of them get $200,000 and this get this and get this, that. So they raise probably $500,000 to close to $1 million to make just a small shit. Guess what? It call for unity. That means they trust each other. None of them feel like shit. If I get this fucking money, I don't know if this nigga gonna bail out on me. They don't think like that. All they think about is like a child. You see, when a baby is pure, you want to know what makes babies so pure? They're not thinking about anything. They only think about what they're looking for, what they want to do. It's the only thing they care about. That's the same process about these folks. They exciting doing movies, man. When you're looking at a lot of movies, if you see behind the scene, these folks is pushing 18 hours straight. 18 hours, 17 hours. The makeup artists, these folks is working hard. Why they was driven to work that hard? Yo, I've been on the set. This kid been working so hard. He's not getting paid for nothing. But all he cares about is name going to be in the credit. And that name itself will be a part of his resume to look for more jobs. This is the level of optimism. This is the level. This is how they take the craft serious. So this is why white people dominate the film industry, because they take the shit serious. And we not doing that. We get comfortable. Look at the style of movie we making. The typical gangster bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Selling drugs, that's so cliche shit. We've been seeing this shit over and over. And again, we don't understand why we quick to find funding to make these style of movies. You want to know why? Because it don't require that many people pull their resource together. Most of these movies is funded by what we call what do you call that motherfucker, man? Money laundering. Most of these niggas drug dealer, they're laundering the money. So they're trying to act like, okay, this is where we get their money. So they use that money as a money laundering in these movies. So we're not really going for a greater cause. So that's why all of this shit always come out as the same bullshit. And we don't realize that movie is not movies. Movies are rituals. And the reason why the prison industry profit the most is because of the movie we make and the soundtrack we make for these movies. That's why movie and music work hand in hand. What is movie? Movie is a ceremony. What is the music? Is the music of the ceremony. So movie is the ceremony. The music soundtrack is what you call the drums and the music they play. So your movie industry is a straight up Voodoo 101. It's fact. So the reason why you heard most of the time niggas killing niggas in the streets, gang violence could never end. This is the countless of movie we've been going up watching. This shit sit down in our subconscious forever. And we participate in that ritual. Because it is a ritual. And we victimize from these rituals because we never make movie to reverse that ritual. And we stay participate in the same old ritual that's been happened then into now. We never reverse it. How to reverse this ritual? Start making movie away from this. Making movie about who we really are. This gangster shit is artificial, but we become it because that's all we do. So, like I was saying, so now, when we get to the movie, I was saying, Project Power. This movie itself is the greatest depiction of voodoo, or what we call magic, I ever seen, as far as well put together in a form of a fashion that is really digestible. Like you will eat that up, and that's why it's doing very good, because it's very good to the eye. It's easy. That shit it's a good movie as far as how they put the character together, the storyline, and the visual effect. Man, I give it a 10. This is a 10 movie, and I think Jamie Foxx completely played the hell out of it. And what I love about this movie is the level of realism they put in it. Because movie, a lot of time it's the cliche part. When you get there, you know what to expect. But no, and that part, I'm gonna explain that. This movie go exactly to the season we in today. This movie is a message. And I don't know if a lot of people understand this movie. This is a movie we're really not sleeping on it. This movie, it's a testimony and a message. First, I'm gonna tell you what each character was really portrayed in the movie. So the movie costs 85 million. So it's 13. So that's a cultist number. So automatically they start with that number. That number lets you know that they're not fucking around. They about to make some real shit popping. So when you got a character like Jamie Foxx, people know Jamie Foxx for the Jamie Foxx show. And Jamie Foxx was with Garcelle Beauvais. Garcelle Beauvais is what you call your Dantor. That's why they don't show you who was the mother of that child in the movie. They don't show you Jamie Foxx was with a woman. They don't show you that at all. But you got to go to the deeper side of it. So Jamie Foxx, remember Garcelle Beauvais, when she first come in, she come to Florida, and from Florida she went to Boston to school. So remember, Jamie Foxx was driving the car. If you look at the plate from the car in the movie, the plate was from Florida. It's not by coincidence they do this. This is a well-calculated movie. And again, I'm telling people, your inspiration don't come from you. Whoever write this movie, they think they come up with the writing part. No, the spirit made them do this shit. They don't even know that. The spirit made them do this shit. And I tell people that before. Haitian voodoo to the American culture, it's the egregore. Just like we said in Haitien, son egregore, Haitian voodoo, it's a part of American history. Because in building America, for America to become a nation, voodoo was used to build America. It's fact. Okay? It's fact. There's no debate in this. And a lot of Haitian people, a lot of black folks with the spiritual blood, not just Haitians, a lot of native, as I told you before, these native, they practice voodoo. Voodoo is not a product from Africa. Africa was a part of it too. But these native, that's their spiritual practice. It's fact. There's no debate in that. And these people, they die on the land. Some die on the battlefield, some die. So the blood resonance and these spirit, they still permeate into the atmosphere. So they're going to influence people so they manifest themselves one way or the other. So Jamie Foxx with Fancy, with Garcelle Beauvais, and that term, this is how Jamie was introduced to the industry of film. This show is what gave him his leg work and everything else come after. So they don't show you. So that daughter of her representing the child that you never see the mother. So he have a reason to protect that child. So let's go deeper. That young woman that was out there selling the drugs, she was playing none other than Aizan. Now in voodoo, what is Aizan? Aizan is a mambo that become immortal. When you become a loi means you reach the immortal realm. That means you become a guardian. You become the law. When they say loi mean law. That means you the law of nature. So nature use you, nature immortalizes you, so you become nature's law. So you will manifest, you will influence, and you will guide as nature's law for the world to move in unison and harmony. So the laws are what you call the law of nature. That's what they call it, loi. So this young woman was playing Aizan. What was Aizan? Aizan was the perfect mambo which means she was a student of voodoo. And because of the way she was, the way she practiced, the way she take orders from the spirit, the way she served the spirit rewarded her as the perfect student. So when the movie was started, all you see, this young woman was pretty much selling the so-called drugs. Now, what she was selling, they show you this little capsule stuff. They take it, they consume it, and they get an ability. So what they're really trying to tell you, basically, this capsule stuff, it was a point. So she was selling God to people. God, haïtien, nous ele God, ça veut dire c'est God moun il t'a acheté. Ça veut dire il t'a vendu God, il t'a vendu point. So what I mean, that child was selling. She was a mumbo. She's the representation of a mumbo that's selling magic to the people. So the little capsule, it's a point. It's a God. A point mean a magical product that you sell the person to receive an ability. A God is the same thing. That means they forge specific things for you. And the God can come in different things. It can come with jewelry, necklace, ring, earrings. It can come with, different things. Like, you can have like a animal bone. You can have a dog teeth. You can have so many different things that it's all depends to what the spirit forged it to be. So in the movie, that's what it was. She was selling spiritual abilities. But understand what's happened to the movie in reality, all these special effects, people turn the fire, in reality, what was happening? It was happening to the light realm. The light realm is what you call your dream world. So all of this shit happened to the movie. That side of all these special effects and all these abilities, this is your dream world. This is the real world. How many of you guys that probably have dreamed y'all fly before? How many of you guys have dreams y'all throwing fire out of your hands before? How many of you guys see yourself transform before in dreams? How many of you guys see yourself just lift heavier shit? How many times you guys see yourself doing telekinesis, moving shit without touching it in your dreams? I've done all of this in dreams before. So a periodic timetable of my life. And most of you guys probably do that already. It's fact. The real world is the dream world. I'm going to get there with you. So the beginning of the movie, you have this guy look like a Russian style, like a foreign guy. He's the one introducing the drugs to the people. And the people he introduced the drugs is the street. This guy, what is the street? A lot of street kids was out there. You have Machine Gun Kelly was the first guy, getting the drugs from him. He represent the Baon. He is the Gede. The Gede is the outsiders. It's the children it's the people that operate outside the law. It's the lawless, the outlaws. So he was playing the Baron. That means the person you have to fuck with to get what you want. So he's the head punchers of bringing what you call the dot of trying to get you what you want. So off bad, he was playing the Baron. So now, what was Jamie Foxx? Jamie Foxx playing different characters along the show. You know what I'm saying? So you have the other cops, the cops that have the Gleason, Patrick Gleason shirt, the 37, the New Orleans shirt. This guy name is Joseph Levitt. He's of French descent. It's not by coincidence they pick him as a French descent. And it's what again? New Orleans. Not only to show you the car with the plate from Miami and New Orleans, those are the two largest concentration of Haitian. The first Haitian concentration places in America from Georgia, 1779, and going all the way from the deep south, it was New Orleans. New Orleans was the largest concentrations of Haitians in America at one point. After that, you get, Dunham, North Carolina, and you going all the way down from North Carolina, the Geechee Gulas, and then from there you were just having a lot of other Haitians was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma too, around what you call the Black Wall Street at that time. But when you talk about the spiritual groups of Haitians, you know about Miami and New Orleans. Those two is known. So if you talk about voodoo, those are the two locations that you will identify voodoo in America more than any other places. So off bat, they show you those two connections. So this guy, this kid named Joseph Levitt, he was playing what you call the French connection. And what the French represent is the saints. That's why you have a saint shirt. The Catholicism was introduced by the French, so he represents the saints in Catholicism himself. That's what it means for his role. So remember, he was a cop. He was using the drugs without people knowing. And who was providing the drugs? It was this young girl. This young girl is a mumble. Remember that. They never show you how this young girl acquired these drugs. They just show you she was happened to selling it to people. Who she was selling to? To white people. Never show you she was selling it to black people. There's a reason why they show you she's selling it to white people, because she was selling magic. That means they didn't have that magic naturally from them, so she have to provide it to the outsider. So that's why they show it to you like that. Did you realize that she don't even sell it? She don't even give it to Jamie Foxx whatsoever? It was deliberately done on purpose to show you that she was the one, as a mumble, giving it out to people that don't have that connection. That was one part. Number two, when you get the chase from the bank, right? They always time themselves. They put a clock, because it's only about 5 minutes that these drugs run out. After 5 minutes, it stopped. This represents 5 generations removed from the connection from voodoo. That's what I was telling y'all before. White people, after they remove the blackness from 5 generations, they ain't got shit in their blood no more. That 5 minute running represent the lineage percentage of a connection to their bloodstream. After 5 minutes pretty much mean 5 generations removed. See, they never show you Jamie Foxx clock his shit for the longest. No, he just be. Because it comes from him naturally, just like his daughter. They don't have to clock themselves. They come straight from the source. They was the sorcerer, like I was saying before. So when they have that chase scene from the bank, you know, he got shot from the head and he didn't die. Because guess what? Before that shit happened to him, he went to the little girl and the little girl gave him that. So he actually bought a point. And they said each person, when you get it, it gives you a different ability based on your physiology. So they couldn't, you know, it's all depends on you. So the girl sold them that. That's why like the first ability they show you from the good side. Because, you know, the first one was a bad guy. That was Machine Gun Kelly. He turned to the fire. And then the second one is the invisible guy. And then he shot the kid, the French cat. And he didn't get penetrated by a bullet. This is the typical point in Haiti that they sold the most. In Haiti, that's the god and the point they sold people the most. And that's the same shit I told you the Hell's Angel guy went to Haiti to do, to not getting penetrated by a bullet. They pretty much call a spirit. They put a spirit in your force field as a contract. They call upon the spirit. They do a certain ways of a sacrifice, and they take the person's blood. Listen, I don't want to go deep on that. This is something pretty much deeper than explaining that, so I don't want to go to that perspective. But pretty much you have a deal with a spirit that they bring a spirit into your force field, and they give you something. Mostly it's a ring, and you have to feed the ring, and you have to annually do a ritual for that spirit. Pretty much, for an example, I remember I have probably you guys always see I got 2 rings in my finger. This all God, and this was a criminal God, and the movie depicted exactly what I have to feed criminal. I'm gonna get to that part into the movie to explain to you. So each god comes with the consequence of feeding the spirit, and you have to feed the god itself. The god is pretty much the jury or whatever it is. So the thing that this police officer bought from the girl was the god, and the god is to protect him from bullets. That's why he got shot in the head. He didn't get penetrated because he buy the god from the little mumble girl. That's Aizan. So when the other cops saw that, he automatically knows shit. You was using drugs. In reality, the cops like, who the fuck do work for you? Because the cops know. He know about this shit. He was not clueless, but the police officer that got shot in the head didn't kill. He thought that the other, the police don't know shit. But in reality, he knows. So the first thing, that scene was so much important because when they get inside of the area, like I think it was probably a bar, the first thing you saw the other, the chief, the police chief told him, return your guns and your badge and this and that because you was using this. You know what was the most important thing that he told the cop? He's like, look, fuck your ways of doing things. That shit that's out there, you can't play nice with the shit. This is so much important. This is the state of consciousness that our people need to understand in that scene. That scene mean these people you sleeping on right now, thinking that to fuck with these people, to fight evil, you don't give the other cheek. Like I said before, it's an eye for two eye. So what he said is like, nah, fuck that. We gotta play dirty or even dirtier than them to defeat these motherfuckers. This is the consciousness and the state of mind that our people need to be. Because right now we slipping. We on some bullshit. So this is the mindset. So basically, the important scene is when he told them, okay, so what do you know? You know what he did? He removed his hat and he put it on the table and he throw it at him. This is your legba. That mean he told them, look, this is what I want to do. That mean you want to cross a boundary. You want to cross a new dimension to fuck like, he's no longer afraid to say this is what I want to do. So his conviction was sealed. So off bat, he removed the hat. That was your legba. And what was this? His clothing was what? A white shirt and a black pant. White and black. That was your legba with the hat on. And now again, pay attention to that actor. You know who that actor is? This is Angela Bassett's husband. Coincidence? No. This is how clever and how crazy. Like, we think these people stupid. That's what I'm saying. Hollywood is not stupid. Why they pick this guy, Angela Bassett, husband, to play that specific role? And see, once you become awakened to the voodoo world, you'll be able to see things that nobody will be able to see. Because the spirit will open your eyes. You're not seeing the movie as regular people no more. Your third eye is what you call, see, what you call third eye is the spiritual eye. It's your ancestor eyes. That means you don't only have yours, your ancestors watching with you. Your third eye is your ancestor eyes. Most people think third eye is just pretty much another part of you. No, that third eye is the ancestor eye, the invisible world watching the world with you. So they bring in consciousness from their world that you can see and your world sync at the same time, synchronicity. So when you see this guy, he is Angela Bassett. What was Angela Bassett's biggest hit or the last thing that she ever played? Everybody know? You already know that. American Horror Story. The Coven. Who Angela Bassett have as a protector? Papa Legba. Coincidence? No. That was your Legba right there. So that's why he gave him the hat. It's pretty much because Legba have a hat. And he pretty much gave him like a little picture and said, okay, man, stay in the hush, but shit, go ahead, cross, go do what you need to do. That alone, if you don't see the deeper part of what they was moving, that it's I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers clever, man. Look how they put in information that most people were not even seeing this shit for what it really is. That was one. Now, watch Jamie Foxx, how it is. Jamie Foxx was tracking someone. What was Jamie Foxx? He was what? In the military. That's your Ogu. He was in the military. Who he fight as first? Machine Gun Kelly. You know what he turned out to be? A fire. What is Ogu? Fire. Coincidence? No. That's why he took his jacket and hug him down. That was a form of telling you the Ogu is activated. It's fire. So he just bring them in. That was a form of taking the spirit and become one with it. Machine Gun Kelly was a fucking spirit in that. So that was him taming that fire, that Ogu fire with him. And you know, after Machine Gun Kelly died, when he's leaving the facility, what do you see? You saw Brigitte. That's a graffiti on the wall. The Los Muertos. You saw a woman with half face with the scar, with the normal scar, normal in the half face. That's your Brigitte. What was the color? Purple and black. These folks ain't stupid people. They not stupid, but this is how they honored your ancestors in movie, and you don't know that. And that's why they stay on top, because that's one thing for sure about the ancestors, especially in Haitian voodoo or voodoo period. They have a code of conduct. You know what that code is? Honor and respect. I repeat, the code of conduct is honor and respect. You know what it means for the ancestors? I participate in countless of voodoo ritual, including my annual ceremony. That's one thing that when other people around my family or other people got, possession, and we bring stuff that the spirit asked, one thing most of the spirit always said, look, you will not regret it. They always told us, look, you see the shit you did for us? We fucking got you, and you will not regret it. And guess what? We never fucking regret shit. They always come through, and they come through fast. So what I'm trying to say to y'all, when these white folks is taking their time, their money, their effort, they sweat, they contemplating, because to make a movie ain't no small shit. Shit take years. To be a writer, that means you got constantly of writing this and taking, that means they're constantly dealing with the fucking spirit. And they come out with this shit, what? The 15th of August, the day of the ceremony, Bwakaima. So you don't think they know that? It was by coincidence they come out with this shit? No, that was a ritual. This movie was out in a ritual format. It was conducted in a ritual format. And who you think gonna rip that benefit? Who you think just get themselves about 25 years ahead of us? White folks. I mean, they just pushed themselves 25 more years ahead of us. We think this shit is a fucking game. It's not a game. Why do you think most people gravitate toward this movie? Because the spirit is making us gravitate towards it. Every movie that's been done by the spirit, we loved it. You think you love Marvel like that? All Marvel characters is Loa? You think it's by coincidence? No. The Avatar movie was the Haitian Revolution. And guess what? They win the war by doing what? Just like what the ceremony Boakai Iman. They was doing it what? In the Bois Nakai Iman. They have what? A Piemapu. The big tree is considered in Haiti a Piemapu. And who helped them win? That was the same way we was fighting the revolution. Nature. Nature helped us win. In the Haitian Revolution, it was a lot of rain. You know what that rain does? Yellow fevers. These motherfuckers was dying from fevers because nature hit them back. A lot of mosquito was biting these niggas. These niggas start to die from this shit. Nature. It's the same shit in Avatar. All nature was fighting with them. So everything that tied with the ancestors, they win. That was the biggest grossing movie of all time. Avatar. Till Avenger knocked them off. So this is where I'm going. Right now, this movie about to break Netflix record for the most watching, the most grossing movie of all time. Because the spirit is pleased. Because they honored the spirit. So if you honor the spirit, they're going to give you the respect. And that's why white people stay on top of our fucking asses. They never stop honoring the ancestors. And if you honor the ancestors, remember, it's energy. Energy don't give a fuck about how you look. It's where the energy goes, is where the energy stays. We're not making these fucking movies. We're making movies about killing each other. We're making stripper movies. We're making gangster shit. Jamie Foxx played the shit. The cast was pretty much most about black, but the money in us, the money gonna go straight to the white community. The writers, the producers, all of them is white folks. So this is the seat we need to occupy, people. Your Black Panther doing that good because Black Panther was a Haitian law called Agasu. So he was playing Agasu. It only makes sense for this shit to blow because it's a ritual. It's your ancestors. They calling out the spirit to make this shit possible. So there's no debating. So now go back to the movie again. Jamie Foxx was in the military, so that was your Ogu. So he hugged Machine Gun Kelly when he turned the fire. That was a form of contained fire. And that's why you have that burn on his left hand. And he wrap it up. That burn represent that he tamed the spirit. That mean he controlled the spirit. It didn't consume him. That's why he did that. So now, what was the second role of him? He trying to track people down. Okay? Wu, he went in. He went to the area, to the market where this little girl usually get his connection. And you know what this little girl do? This is your société. This little girl went to his society. Pretty much, in Haiti, we call it société. It's pretty much a gathering of people that fucks with you in the same, same environment. And the guy pretty much told him, look, stay here, don't go out because, we don't want to get caught. So the guy go outside and he just clock himself. He take a pill. You know what that pill give him? To come back to life. That's your zombifier. You can't die. You got second life. That's why you come back to life. That's another form of the Los Muertos shit. He didn't die like that. See what I'm saying? And you remember before he died, like when Jamie Foxx finally stabbed him to kill him, is the only way that scene was important. The reason why Jamie Foxx killed him is because the little girl no longer went away from Jamie Foxx. The little girl agreed to fucks with Jamie Foxx. That means she allowed the spirit to deal with Jamie Foxx. So yeah, you can kill him now. That was what that part represent. All that time, the little girl was inside of the room when Jamie Foxx was outside by the truck. The guy didn't die. Jamie Foxx thought he killed the guy. And the guy come back to life again. All this time, the little girl was still not want to fuck with Jamie Foxx. She tried to run away from him. But that scene when Jamie Foxx stabbed him to kill him, the reason why that they show you he dies because the little girl start to understand that Jamie Foxx is somebody that she needs to fuck with. So her approval of agreeing to come with him allowed Jamie Foxx to kill that guy. So that's another form saying that the spirit, the person that control these spirit, allow you to make shit possible. That was one part. So the Ogu scene, it's over. This is where the movie get really deep and the most powerful part. You remember when Jamie Foxx was trying to infiltrate the facility where they was having the exhibition for the other groups of people? Now, ask yourself, what are these groups of people that was trying to get into the drugs? They were Spanish people. It's not by coincidence they show you a older Spanish lady. And what was the other lady around? A younger lady. What the color they was wearing? The older lady was wearing all white, and the other lady was wearing what? Pink. This is Ganezili and Freda. And guess what? They were super fucking rich. They come in fucking private jet and airplane. These people are stupid, folks. So they show you the hierarchy right there. That was your Ganezili and Freda was together trying to see what was their power. And right now, who is the most dominant? I would not call it dominant. I would call it the most in control into the into the voodoo system in America. The most, I would call the most in control and the most intact society of voodoo in America is what you call the Spanish community. The Spanish community get this shit locked down. They get this shit under control. They have big stores. They got huge botanicas. They have a lot of shit going on for themselves. And they not ashamed of their roots, and they do not give a fuck what people have to say. They all serve the spirit, and they doing it right. The Spanish community ain't playing around with this shit. And that's why they right now, they bypass black people right now in America. Black people, we pretty much in the backseat of every fucking thing because we not fucking waking up to really get our power together, okay? That Project Power, this movie called Project Power, this is our project. Get that fucking power back, just like Jamie Foxx did. He went to take that power back. This little girl, Jamie Foxx's daughter, represent the knowledge. It represents voodoo itself. The knowledge of voodoo is not in our hands. It's in the hands of those of the people we call that's oppressing us. It's not in our hand. Did you see what Jamie Foxx did? At any means necessary, he was ready to die to take this fucking power. Is that what I was saying before? Niggas, we not willing to die to do shit. Jamie Foxx don't give a fuck. He was ready to die to get that power back. And this is why we're not going anywhere, black folks. Because we still sleeping. We're still playing games. We don't want that power. Everybody else is getting it. So that Spanish community, they were showing you that he was, those represent the people that was about to get some of that power and control. So the hierarchy was showing you the white folks have that shit under control. The second groups of people trying to get into the game was the Spanish people. Black people, we not in the game. We not. But guess what though? They show you the power is you. The power, it's yours. What the fuck you gonna do? You know what you gonna do? If you don't become like Jamie Foxx, you will never fucking get it. Jamie Foxx represents the journey that black folks need to do in order to obtain what is ours. Are you willing to die to get it? That's what he represents in the movie. And now what spirit he become to obtain that power? This is what's important in the movie. He shows you he become different spirit in order to get that power. Now, I told you, he was Ogu at first. What other spirit that he become in order to get this shit? Now, that scene was so powerful, and a lot of us won't even seen it because it looked like just a regular shit they do in movie all the time. But it's these small details that mean so much, and it puts you to a level of seeing even deeper shit in these small scenes. Remember in the scene when, you know, they was by the street, it's almost looked like downtown. It was downtown New Orleans, and you know, you have one guy just passing around with a girl, and I think the other girl snatched his keys, and they went inside of a check cashing store. But in reality, that check cashing store, they having that exhibition in there. So when Jamie Foxx about to get in there, the first thing he did, he saw a homeless looking white guy and he give him $1 and he give him a beer. See, that scene is so much important because this is your voodoo 101 right there in your face, and people don't even know this. That part represent passage. Okay? Avait dit payer pour boire passage. That dollar represent he paid for passage. So he take that drink from him. Instead of a babankou, that was a beer. See, they're never gonna make this shit 100%, but you need to see where they're going with it. That beer was your babankou. This is your babankou. This is your Florida water. That drink was that. When he get inside, guess what? He saw a young, handsome black kid with what? With a red and black clothes on. Like he have a red jacket and just all black. And then they show you the camera, the scene they show you, the scene went almost lower. They put that it's a close shot. It's a shot about 120 millimeter lens where you just get close, but in an angle down close. When you shoot an angle like that, it means a mystery about to happen. But that mystery mean it's a character in the, because movie have two different angles. That's a subliminal side and that's a regular movie side where everybody see. But in the occultist side, that means he met a spirit. He met someone important that will allow him to become something more. And remember, if you go back and watch that scene when he went inside and see that kid with the red jacket and the black shirt, they show you his eyes was almost looking like a mystical eye. One of his eyes looked very mystique. But they do that real quick. It's because he met with a spirit, and that spirit is none other than Kafu. So I told you, Kafu is the law of conviction. Kafu is the law of sacrifice. Now, what he did, they show you he killed him. Do you know how the guy died on the floor? His neck was ripped off. This is your Jean-Vic Zama I told you in the Haitian Revolution. He sacrificed himself. That's how the guy died. And what he did, he take his shirt on. And you know what is the escort of Kafu? Bawon criminel is the escort of Kafu. When Kafu come in, if you got a loi Kafu, once Kafu show up, criminel gonna come after. Those two laws work hands to hands. And you know what was on his shirt when he take the jacket from him and he put him on? A skull was on his back. These people are stupid, folks. He become bawon criminel. And guess what? You know what they show you? The drink that he took from the white man in the front, the drink was on the floor, leaking. This is your libation from your Florida water, from your rum barbecue. This is the libation. So when they show you the scene of that beer on the floor, that's your libation they just drop on the floor. And that guy that died, that's the sacrifice to elevate to where you're gonna go. And what it was, a human sacrifice. So what I'm trying to say is that this is where Jamie Foxx was. What he tell you, black man, or anyone that oppress in our community, if you're not willing to die, or if you're not willing to kill anyone to get what you want, that you deserve, or what they took away from you, if you're not willing to do anything to obtain your shit, just like our ancestors died for this revolution. Our ancestors willing to destroy anything in their path to obtain freedom. This is what Jamie Foxx was showing you. That scene, he was ready and he did. Anything on his way for his daughter, you gonna die because I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get my daughter. And that's what he did. And that scene in the elevator, when they show you the scar behind his jacket, it was not by coincidence. This is a form of saying to you, a loi just come through. And it was none other than bawon criminel. Bawon criminel color is red and black. And he got what? The scar. He is totally different from the other Giddies. He's a solo type of loi that don't give a fuck. He's what you call the executioner. They call him bawon criminel because he deals with what? Criminals. He's an avenger of justice. This is the loi in Haiti. When people couldn't find justice, if the prison, if the law enforcement of what we call the law failed the people, they go into a Boko or Uga or Mambo. The law, it's all depends. This is not a law everybody have. It's a real law, and it's tough to fucking serve. You have to have listen. It's tough. I mean, this is not a law that regular Joes fuck with. You have to really have balls up in your ass. You really got to man up to fuck with this law. Because this law, the way the fucks with this law is tough, man. It's tough. Because to fed this law, that law don't be fed like normal law, man. This law don't most of the time. This law don't eat. It's blood. I'm going to get there with you. So, Baron criminel deal with what you call avenging. When someone die injustice, if injustice being done, that's the law to petition. And that's the law that deals with that. Most people that die in Haiti, they kill in a wrong matter, like, you know, either shot or either kidnap and kill or either just do some malefic shit and kill them off. That's the law that's going to tell you who's killed that person and who to go after and who they send. This why is a hitman. This is the ultimate hitman in the voodoo pantheon. That's the hitman. So when he become that law in that scene, he become bound criminal. You know what was his first kill? When he get inside of that facility and they was having this exhibition, you know what was his first kill? He take that guy head and, you know, hit like a pony. You have that ice shit, look like a spike, and he just throw his head on it, and the guy died. And guess what? There's this little, like, what you call recipient, like, on the table, and the blood was leaking down his fucking throat. Now I want to get there with you. When we serve criminal in my habitation, when we serve criminal, we don't give criminal food. Criminal take blood. We usually take, it's either three things we serve criminal, but mostly a bull, a big black bull that we cut the throat and let the blood drain for 24 hours. Let the blood drain. This is a law that drink blood. It's fact. That's all it is. It's a law that drink fucking blood. It's no fucking game. If you're not ready, don't fuck with this law. This law is for gamoon. This is not a joke. Hey, do not call criminal for a game. This is a law. When people cross the fucking line, this is the law that you got to create the equilibrium. Like, you just got to balance that shit. Like, listen, man, you fuck the wrong way with me, I'm going to deal with you. It's just fact. That's why my goal is to show love and respect, and I don't want to get involved in people's shit. I stay away from people. The biggest power, the superpower you can have in life is respecting people, man. That's the ultimate power. Don't cross people the wrong way. Don't disrespect people. Don't get on people's business. You know, stay in your fucking lane. Just do not look at people's plates. You do you, I do me. But the moment you just trying to cross your way into my shit, you stop me from eating, I'm stopping you from shit. Just like we said in, you know, a little word in Haiti, when it was in it's fact. So this is the law pretty much. If you don't give this law assignment, he'll fuck someone out of your family. This is a law everybody afraid of. This is not a law you can buy. I was said it. Unfortunately, on my family side, this is a law that we inherit. So we have to fuck with this law one way or the other. If we don't fed this motherfucker, someone of our family gonna die. It's unfortunate, but that's how that law roll. It's pretty much a law that deal with energy driven. It's like, fed me, give me some energy, give me some, because that law still exists in our force field. It's around our atmosphere. It's an executional law. Because this world is so unbalanced, it's so fucked up. We need this law to balance the level of my art. So we've been bamboozled so long in society with religion, because religion always told you, give the other cheek. This is not nature. This is not a part of nature. Nature is balance. You smack me, I'm going to smack you 10 times harder to make sure you learn from what you did to me. Because when I smack you that hard, you're going to think again. You're going to like, God damn, that shit hurt damn right. That means you're not going to do this shit to the next person. This is why these laws is around. Their job is to take out motherfuckers. Because the world needs to fucking balance. That's how it is. So if you don't give them assignment, they're going to fuck people around your family up. Because guess what? You have a lot of fucked up people in your family in the first place. So before looking from the outside world to be like, man, give me a fucking assignment. Motherfuckers need to die out here. Look at what the fuck he's doing to the children. Sit me, nigga, give me some job. I'm ready to go. You don't give the spirit that job, guess what? They're going to start looking in your family line like, so wait a minute. This motherfucker here? Nah, I'm going to take this bitch out. Did you know how many times this nigga behind your back trying to fuck you up? Did you know this nigga raped your daughter? You don't even know that. Nah, nigga, that nigga going to start being sick. Next thing you know, someone in your family starts feeling ill and motherfucker die. That spirit draining that nigga. They are named law. They are what you call law. The law must be obeyed. The law must uphold itself. They are the laws of natures. So the reason why they take blood, because blood is the equilibriums of life. It's a frequency that they need to stay around your force field. So when they take that blood, they still around your force field active. Now, people from the church, they know these shit and they perv this shit. Instead of doing it with animal, they fucking do it with babies and humans. This is when you fucking cross the line 100. This is why this shit become demonics. And these spirits, they don't do this shit every day. This is an annual shit. This is once a year. That's how we do it. Once a year. Okay? And the animal itself, we fed the whole block with it. And I told you, it's bull. They fuck with bull. Cabrit noir or bull. Like, you know, black goat or bull. So after the blood is drained, they take the shit, you know, make food and give to the whole block. So basically, this is not a waste. This is a law and a principle of nature that must be in place, that we cannot violate. This shit got to keep moving. So in that scene, when the guy got the spike on his throat and the blood was draining, this is the recipient where the blood go for criminal. This is what these motherfuckers know. They know this shit. So that was his first kill. That kill means it's a form of what? Because he about to work. Did you see what happened after that scene? Hell break loose in there. Did you know what they showed you in that scene? That's why I got to give the director props, man. Did you realize he's not showing you what was happening? There was focus inside with this woman inside of this tube. They have this woman and the woman was just doing the ice, so her body would start breaking up because she was turning to this ice thing, you know, like she started being frozen because she couldn't control the 4-minute barrier went off. But the whole focus of the camera was only focused on her. But outside was a whole lot of shit was happening outside. But they only focus on her. The reason why they shoot the scene like this is because they're trying to show you that was a work of spirit. So the spirit was taking over on the outside, so they don't want to show you how fucked up the spirit was fucking everybody up. And right after the girl died inside of the tube, and the scene get back, guess what? It was a bloodbath. They show you Jamie Foxx on the corner, but dead body every fucking where, because criminal go ham on them. So they show you it was the spirit doing all these fucking killing. That's why they're not showing you, they were showing you all details of him doing, no, they just focused on the girl, and then they just show you the camera was focused on the mirror, what you call it, like on the glass window, and then you kind of see a little bit what was happening. But that was a form of showing you the work of the spirit on the outside. So right after that, they show you what? Baron, criminal, and what? Baron Samedi. I told you the other guy that was orchestrating the shit, he was playing Baron Samedi. Was the Baron the one that connect every fucking thing together? As far as the world of the chaos and the world of the living. Criminal is just come here to do a job. But the Baron is the one that allowed any fucking go how it is. This is what we call the chaos world. So he was doing what? Produce these shit and put it to the market, bring it to the people, just let the fucking chaos go. That's what he was about. But pay attention. They show you blow up his fingers. Dead fingers. It was not by coincidence. They show he shot his fingers off, people. These people know. The reason why he shot his fingers is because this is where you put your God. His God was on his fingers. So you put the what in there? You put a ring in there. Your ring is what you call your God. So blast off his fingers is remove the God. For those that know. So in order, he could have easily shot him. But why the fingers? Because usually in order to not getting shot by bullet, is because most of the time when they put the God or when they have that spiritual work on them, they put a God on them, which is the ring. They put a ring, mostly a ring. When you put the ring, most of these work is to make sure you're not getting bulletproof. That means if they shoot you, you're not gonna get penetrated by a bullet because you put a God on you, and the God will protect you for gunshots. And that's why he blasts his fucking fingers. It's pretty much say, I'll remove that God away from you. So now he's become immortal. So I'll remove these motherfuckers know, people. They know. Stop sleeping on these white folks. These white folks is not what the fuck you think they are. And the moment we start to not thinking these folks don't know shit is probably when we're going to pick up our fucking, like we really going to pick the shit up. We're going to really get it together. Because we have this notion that because, you know, the spiritual world is ours, we think this shit come from our lineage and from our ancestors. Everybody else don't. Bullshit. Do not sleep on these folks. They know shit. Okay? They know shit. And most of them is not completely removed from the lineage. So we need to get this shit together. And I told you, it's 5 generations to be completely removed. Some of them is 3 generations. Some is 4, still out there. Not completely removed at all. And some even married. That means they're reinforcing the lineage again. Don't get this shit twisted, y'all. Do not get this shit twisted. So, after he blasts his fingers off, the second thing happened. The cop come in. The Levite guy. He come in. This represent what you call the other aspect of when the spirit is around and then you have Catholicism involved. You represent another form of spirituality that come in. So it's pretty much what you call your church people come in. That's why you have the saint shirt. He didn't believe Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is what? Voodoo. But he don't believe in that shit. That was your conflict between the church and voodoo at the same time. So when he come in, he's like, put your hand behind your back. And Jamie like, nah, fuck that. You don't know these people, man. He was trying to tell him, look, to fuck with these people, you need your voodoo. This shit ain't your church shit. He said, nah, fuck it. I don't believe your bullshit. Nigga, put those fucking, what you call it, them locks on. But anyway, you know what happened next? The guy take the pill. And when the guy take the pill, you know what he transformed to be? Like a Hulk, a big guy. This was your Jobolo Bosu. He become Bosu. When criminal come in, an escort of criminal is Bosu. That's why he become big. That's your big bull. Bosu, like, listen, man. When people possessed by Bosu, not only they walk like they are big, because we have that on my La Kuma Habitation. When we fed Bosu, I'm going to post this picture. The whole room was filled up with fucking food. And the person that possessed by Bosu spend a whole day eating. And the person is not big. The person is a small person, but like you don't know where the fuck this food go. Because Bosu is the biggest loa out of all the loa inside. That's a fucking big bull. You call your minotaur shit. It's fact. It's true. And when the person possessed by that spirit, they walk like, listen, man. Mambo maman's enfant in habitation. She have that loa. When she possessed, when she about to leave, when the loa left her body, I have to be the one holding her. I swear to fucking God. She got so heavy, I literally have to find something to put around her because I could not hold on. She felt like she's 300 pounds. This is how much the weight of the spirit get inside of her. Listen, man, that dumb shit is astronomically and fucking insane. So when they show you this guy transformed to this Hulk style guy, that was your Bosu. That's the Minotaur bull that he transformed. Because I told you, Kafu, when someone got Kafu and this escort, you got criminal. After criminal come in and this escort, you got Jobolo Bosu. So they're showing you the full escort in one shot. And they show you start to, destroy the whole facility. So they run off and then the shit explode, whatever. So this was just like just regular movie shit. So it doesn't matter. So this is where these folks at. Okay? This is where they at. So they show you, even in the other guys see all of this shit. And then the little young Mambo outside. Because she playing what? Aizan. The one that can deal with all the spirit. She was Sevi spirit. She was a Sevite of spirit. So she was serving. What she was doing, supply everybody with this shit. So all of these pills represent that she was serving the Loi. She was doing the work for the people. She said, look, this guy trying to do the right thing. And you know the other guy, the cops, he said, fuck that. I don't believe him. That's your church. So that's the conflict between those two sides, the church and voodoo. So when he actually lock him up and he put him in the car driving, trying to go out there in the precinct with him, he told him straight up, look, man, they're going to come after me and they're going to kill you. What he trying to tell him? He said, look, man, the people that you think you know, they fuck with what I fuck. Soon enough, they will put your so-called tradition of church on the side and they get rid of you because they know what the fucking power is. That's what they're trying to tell you people. All your church shit, it's a fucking smoke screen. That's what he's trying to say in the hidden side of it. All your Christian shit is a smoke screen. The truth is you are that power and they know about it and their job is to put you to sleep It's to make you think what they're selling you is real, because they know if you know about yourself, they cannot control you. So they have to find ways to demonize your shit. But in reality, they're the ones serving this shit themselves. They're fucking with this shit. And that's why they stay on top, because they're using your shit against you. And your ancestors is pissed off against you because you neglecting your ancestors for so long. And then they're like, fuck you then. If I can just harness this little small amount of energy from them, but at the end of the day, it's energy anyway. They kept me alive, so shit. I give them the world. I gave you everything, and you just turn your back against me. So fuck you. That's how your ancestors see you. Because in the world of ancestry, it's energy. Where energy go, it's what energy go back. It's a mirror. It's a reflector. If I put the energy to the universe project the energy back at me. These white folks, guess what? They project the energy by our ancestors. Ancestors send the energy back to their asses. That's why they have the world in their fucking hands. And you playing. You playing. So, the last scene of the movie, so we can just get this wrapped up from the whole movie. They show you Jamie Foxx find his daughter. And they told you she is what? The seed of what? It's the same concept of Haiti with this woman. I think this woman was somewhere, I think it's Maryland or something, that her gene never die off, where the pharmaceutical industry finding ways to replicate her gene. And all your pharmaceutical industry breakthrough, all your pills and shit, they all have her gene in it. And Arietta Lax is another form to tell us we are the immortals. Our gene is from the primordial or the original people of the world, the goddess or the god of all. The source of power comes from our gene. That's what Arietta Lax showed. And all your breakthrough from science come from her genetic structure. So she represents the source. That's the spirit. That's the mother spirit. This young woman, which is Jamie Foxx's daughter, she was playing what? The mother of all. That's your Gamboa. This is where all spirit live. She was the Gamboa. This is the mama of all Loa. Your Gamboa. Your gun. Okay? That's what she was. That's why in the scene, they show you when the little girl took her away from the facility. As she's running away from the facility, her hand touched one of these boxes, and guess what? You saw a tree was growing. She gave life to a little flower. That's your Gamboa. Listen, these folks ain't stupid, people. You remember when they captured this young woman from Jamie Foxx? The car flipped. And it was what? It was around what? Vegetation. It was from a cornfields and stuff. It was trees and vegetation. That's your Gamboa. Okay? You know what was the biggest war in Napoleon? Napoleon asked, and when Napoleon was asking for reparation from Haiti after the war, they asked for money. You know what the first thing he asked as an agreement? To cut down the trees out of Haiti. Not any trees. Pied-Mapu. He asked to cut down all the Pied-Mapu. Pied-Mapu is the biggest tree in Haiti. It's a spiritual tree. This is where the spirit resides. That tree is known in the voodoo world as Gamboa. Napoleon asked to cut down these specific trees because he know if you cut these trees down, the spirit will run away because the spirit inhabit that tree. At night, in a certain time, the tree open. And this is where your spiritual world, that's what you call the dream world, the spirit open. And then guess what? They said there's world inside of these trees. It's true. But these world exists in the light realm. Your light realm is what you call your dream world. This is where the shit exists. So when you saw the little girl touch the shit and you saw the tree grow, that was your Gamboa right there. Now, what happened before? Jamie Foxx was held hostages, right? In an underground facility. And he was having a conversation with this guy that was guarding him. He told him, look, I have that power. What do you think? You think all of these people possess power? You don't think I possess one? So he told him what he possessed, some sort of power from a shrimp whatsoever. And you know what the guy did? That scene was important. That scene showed you that the guy go out there and like, you know what? Nah, nigga, let me untie your hands. You know, you can walk free. And he said, I thought so. What that scene represents, it's a form of identify who you are. You want to know why he let him go? He let him go because he know what he really possessed. This is what I was saying before. If we all know what we capable, if I start to see you as a Loa, I will not backstabbing you. Is that what I always said? If I see you right now, I no longer see you as John. I no longer see you as Marie. So if there was paying me to kill you, and I always know when I see you, I don't see Marie, I see Erzuli. If I see you, I don't see you as John, I see you as Ogu. Guess what? When you see me as a spirit too. So when Jamie Foxx said, look, nigga, I can do that too. So it's because what they're trying to say is like, he identified Jamie Foxx as a spirit, and he know that spirit Jamie Foxx identify with can fuck him up. So he's like, nah, nigga, I don't want that fire, nigga. Let me take your ass out. This is what we're not having in the spiritual world. This is not what we're not having in the world right now. If black people, if we all see each other as a spirit, we will not take money and kill each other anymore. We will not violate each other anymore. We're not gonna fuck each other, girlfriends and wife behind each other's back anymore. Women, niggas not gonna just do anything. Women not gonna fuck other niggas out here, have babies with other men. And you know, we won't do shit like that. You wanna know why? Because we know if you do that, I will know. Because the spirit that fucks with me, or the type of spirit I am, that because you start seeing me as a spirit, you're not gonna violate me the same way anymore. Because now we become God among each other. So you are not gonna cause God. I won't cross you too. So we respect each other. This is what that scene was. That scene, he shows you that, look, man, you fucking white. You one of these spirit. I will not violate you. Ain't no fucking money they're gonna pay me in the world about, nigga. You free. He don't want that heat. He don't want that smoke. And he bounced. That was important. The final scene, when Jamie Foxx went in there and they were shooting, the whole squad was out there asking to come out because they took the girl. That scene represent, oh, I almost forget that part. That part is very important, very important. I have to backtrack. That was a scene before they get inside of that boat facility. Remember, the saint guy, I told you, he represented the church. He represented the church. Remember when he was going inside that facility, the little girl have an earpiece with him. He was talking to him on the phone like an earplug, and he told him, do the Clint Eastwood. Now, understand, people, these folks is so clever, and they're so good at doing this shit. You would never be able to see how they trying to put your science into the shit for you to never know what the fuck they doing. He said, do the Clint Eastwood. People, what is Clint Eastwood? And he was what? In front of a gate. Clint Eastwood is your leg, but that's why he always play cowboy with a hat. And he always got a little cigarette he's smoking. And he always play old, like always that old man, that's grumpy old man and shit. He told him, do the Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood was the legba by affiliation. So when he go out there, he perform, he trying to act like the, using the Clint Eastwood term, the black guy say, hold on. The security guard, he go talk with another person and come back and act like he opened the door and shot him. This scene is so important. Let me explain what it means. The Clint Eastwood, when the young girl told him to do it, this young girl I told you is a mambo. That means she was giving someone an access of a knowledge that they was not a part of it. And they paid for it. What I mean by that, I told you, this guy in the movie, he represent the church. So he was never about that voodoo life. But she thought, when she said do the Clint Eastwood, she giving an advice of a ritual, as a voodoo ritual. To go, if you perform that voodoo ritual, then he will give you access. So when the guy go talk to the other guy, the security guard, that was a form of the spirit, go out there and trying to talk to other spirit and say, look, man, do you know this motherfucker? And the spirit said, no, we don't know his ass. He said some shit about Clint Eastwood. He said, Clint Eastwood? That bitch have no connection with us. So when he get back, he act like he opened the door and shot him. He shot him by telling him, look, you're not a part of our world. He shot him for that. This shit is so fucking deep, yo. Like, this shit was crazy to see where they was going with it. It's because he was not a believer. They show you that the spirit come back and shot his ass back. But because he take the point from the girl, the point was protect him from gunshot, he survived. And in Haiti, you know what that means? Wongate. It's Sakili Wongate. Wongate is pretty much people from the church that go into the voodoo places, going to Boko, Ugamambo, and buying shit so their church can make money. So they using voodoo to keep their shit on top, but they act like they're not about that life. That's what happened in the scene. He was a non-believer that trying to get into the world of the voodoo, but the girl fucks with him thinking like, okay, since I'm a mumbo, let me give you a piece of advice how you can do some shit, and the spirit will bite his ass because the spirit like, even though you getting some work done by this person, we still don't know you, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. That's what the scene was about. That scene was straight up about that. So The final scene of the movie, they went inside. They was contemplating, okay, you know, they have the girl down there, so I have to go save them. You know what they show you in the scene? It was raining. And you know what happened? It was people make a circle. All these, you know, I mean, the other woman, everybody died. So it was that one woman, the woman that controlled everything. And if you look around, she have a pendant. The pendant have a full circle in the middle, like a circle pendant. Like if you look at the middle of it, they have a circle in a very light thin line that crossed in the middle of it. This shit looked almost identical with the Kafu Veve in her neck. And they show you, the scene show you that the camera go low and you kind of see Jamie Foxx's footstep coming down the stairs. That scene symbolized that something is coming. And guess what? Jamie Foxx, before he left, the daughter said, Daddy, don't do it. Because he knows if you do that, he's going to die. This is your Kafu. I told you. Kafu is the spirit of what? Conviction. This is the spirit of what? Destiny. This is the spirit of what? Sacrifice. He know that he have to die to save the girl. So he was okay with that. This is your Jean-Vic Zama. And the people that make the circle around him, it was looking like a ritual was about to happen. This is your ceremony, Wakaima, right there. So he was willing to die to save everything because he know if he die, everything gonna change because the power he have inside of him gonna wipe out everything. That was your ceremony. That was your Jean-Vic Sama. So when they show you the camera going underneath of his footstep going downstairs, that means a spirit about to come, and he did come. So that's when he demonstrated his full power, and everybody start to fucking burn, and he wiped them out. And after that, he died. That's your Kafu. That's why he was dressed all black. He took out the other one because guess what? He could have easily keep the jacket. Remember the Red Skull with the jacket? Remember how he removed it? Remember the guy that he shot? The guy that was punching all these metals doors and open, and they shotgun him in the chest. They put a big hole in his chest, and guess what? They take the jacket, they cover the hole in his chest. This is represent the see when you serve criminal. If you kill an animal for him, if you're gonna leave the animal there, you have to cover the animal. You have to cover it with either a white sheet or a red sheet. So the guy with the hole in his chest with the shotgun, he took his jacket and covered him. That means that was his prey. That's why they show you the hole. The hole represents the draining blood that's about to. So they covered the dead body. So that's what they listen. These motherfuckers is in the light years ahead of us when they talk about this occultist world and this voodoo world. How they can, I mean, they're so clever with this shit, and they honoring our ancestor in a way so clever you will not be able to identify this shit. And that's what, just to show you how deep and how far ahead these people are, to be able to put your shit in front of you and you cannot identify the shit. And then they ripping all the benefit. And you just so attracted to the movie. You just so loving it. You think it's like that? No. It's because they are playing your energy. They're using your energy to make you watch your own story about you, but you don't know. So that's what this movie was about. So when he went all out and everybody blasting the whole shit off, it's because he was ready to die. And he succeeded. That was your Kafu in the ritual. So everything else after that is pretty much, that's why they show the girl trying to rescue him in the end, and he pretty much bring him back to life. But what it means by that, he ascend. He become what? Immortal. That's why he come back to life, because he immortal. He come back to life. That's him become immortality. Once you do a great deed that benefit millions, that benefit a lot of people, you become immortal. That's what it was. This movie, man, listen, man. Shout out to the director, and shout out to the cast, and shout out to the people bringing the shit together, the budget, the money, the effort, everyone that contribute to make the shit, because this shit is a masterpiece, man. And it's 100,000 voodoo, and this shit was fucking dope, man. Dope shit, big dope shit, man. So this is the review from this movie, man. If you don't see the movie, I highly recommended you to go see it. So now you're going to see it in a different way, in a different format, because of how I explained it to you. So you guys will be able to see it even better. It called Project Power. That's the name of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So this is where we at. This is where we at, man. So yeah, man. So I need to see the light goes up. Please get them joints up. Let me take a breather out of here. Get the lights up, please. Please do that. Do that. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. You want to see it now? Hell yeah, that shit dope, man. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Put the likes up, y'all. Do that, do that, do that. Let me just give a couple shout outs for a couple folks out there. I didn't forget about them. So, I was just blasting through the review quickly. Pierre Grace. Thank you, sweetie. Shout out to you, Sister Pierre Grace. You only live once. Shout out to you, Sister Queen. Shout out to you. Tio Cap Nekpam. Merci. Shout out to you, my brother. That's about it. Yeah. So that's what this movie was about. And I want y'all to know, man, I urge everyone, anyone, this is where our future should be invested. Our investment should go about the film industry, because the film industry control the narrative of a nation. It control our rise and our fall. When you talk about the Haitian culture, I'm not saying the Haitian culture just for Haitian. Haitian culture, it's what you consider the cream of the crop for Black America, because that culture is rich with things that make us rise as a nation. Because, when you're watching Hollywood, they're making depiction about kings, queens, and things in London and Renaissance and shit. We have all of this in Haiti. Hades have emperor. Haiti have queen. Imagine we make a movie about our emperor. Imagine we make a movie about our queen. Right there. When the Brit, you talk about Queen Elizabeth, or I'm talking about her parents, Queen Charlotte and them, they was falling in love with Henry Christophe. Henry Christophe was in love with the Queen of London. And people don't know that. Imagine we make a movie about that, showing you the Queen of London going to, having that love affair with Henry Christophe. How much this shit gonna take our level of what we call like prestige. Like prestige gonna be so high. We're gonna see ourselves in a higher way, not thinking constantly of gangster shit, petty shit, no slave ass, weak ass movie. That's what we do. Imagine we put our money together. That's what we start doing. We make a movie about these lois, showing you the mermaid world, the Simbi, the La Sirene, the Ogu shit. Listen, I'm working on one right now. I'm working on in a web series. This shit about to be dope, but this is a marathon. This is not easy, because we need it's to make movie. I told you, it's a small government. To make movie, it's a small government. We need all hands on deck. We need everyone to give help, and help comes from many ways. Help with financial, help with bring your talent. You might be a good, someone that just be a good director of photography. You might be a good organizer, someone that know how to, take orders. Just like, okay, so you a good assistant, anything. You might be good by doing good casting director, or you might be good at, working with talent. We need all hands on deck. So this is my field. This is what I want to do. My company called Shankon Studio. My goal is to be able to make prestigious movie for our people, to lift up our spirit and to lift up who we are. Because listen, Hollywood what you call Hollywood is what ruled the world. And the negative stereotype we have as Black people all over the world is because of Hollywood. Hollywood destroy our image completely. Hollywood totally destroy our image, and Hollywood hijacked our story and hijacked our image. So in every movie I remember growing up, every single movie, I always hate the Black guy in the movie. Every single 80s movie, I always hate the Black guy in the movie, because you want to know why? I see it now. When I was growing up, they always pick one ugly ass nigga they put in the movie. They always look unattractive. They ugly. They do this shit on purpose. They pick the most unattractive person, throw it behind camera to say, like, this is how Black people do. He represent Black people. They do this shit on purpose. Like when you go to a casting, like a casting call, like you go to a casting for a movie, for a show, whatever, they have countless of actors, countless of look. But they will pick the most unattractive Black person to throw it out there to say, this is how Black people look. This is how they've been doing. Destroy our image. Make us so unattractive to the world. Make us look like as less. The fucked up ass role always go by us. And what pisses me off is the level of self-esteem that we didn't have in the film industry. that we rather pick any fucking role they throw on the fucking table as crumbs. We'll pick it because in our mind we want to show we on TV, not knowing that movie is not movie. It's an agenda. It's a ritual. So when you pick these roles, we don't fucking look good. But we always have these degenerate ass piece of shit. They're willing to play any fucking thing just to be behind camera. So this is our problem. But again, shit like this happen because we don't have platform that would be able to bring them aboard. You know what I'm saying? And we don't have platform to produce a lot of movie where if one of them, portray us in a bad light, we have 2, 3, 4, 5 of other movie that put us in the proper light. So we constantly overwrite the fuckery they trying to create against us. So this is where I'm going with that. So movie been always the next generation or the future telling you what's going to happen next. So growing up, like I said, always hate the black character because not only it was unattractive, they're going to die first. They always don't want to die. So you all automatically know that black guy going to die. And it's always the same story. Every movie, the first black guy going to die. And these are rituals. And when we die like that constantly in movie, you train the next person to see you that you don't matter. To see you that's why racism grows so much and racism become what you consider a curse in our world. Hollywood create that because Hollywood been disproportionately create a world in movie. There's an artificial world that every time you saw a movie, it's always white people. Every time you saw a movie, it's always white people. So the rest of the world, when you watch movie, you casting that spell that tell everyone white lives only matter on TV. That nobody else matters. So now you have a generation of children growing up only see themselves, so nobody else matter around them. So this is the thing. So this is where we end up being. And that's why we have to switch the narrative. And to do that, we do not need to wait on them. We can do that ourselves. Okay? On paper, America right now, on paper, which is this fake, we are the majority of America. Black folks is the majority. Don't believe the hype and the fake news and the spell they cast on us saying that minority group. This is a spell. We not no minority, not even an inch. Okay? This is our land. We always been here. So we not the outsiders. We not the immigrant. They are. Okay? So we not, but if they're using spell with term of minority, you believe it. And if you believe it, you act like a minority. And that's why we not moving forward. Because we see when niggas believe we minority, we not willing to invest on each other. Because in our mind, we minority. So whatever I have, I need to hold on to it. But if we know we're majority, I can bet on you. I can take a chance on you. That's too many of us. So shit, we ought to take out each other. That's the thing. We have to bypass these notion of these, what you call these term, these curses term that we apply on our everyday activity that we believe we minority. We not minority. Okay? We are nation among nation. But our attention or our agenda is not calculated. We don't have an agenda or we don't have what we consider a plan. We need to navigate our plan and put our resource together. Just imagine, I'm just giving an example. Let's just say like we have a groups of young people like me in the film industry that want to produce movie. And we come out with a plan. And we said, okay, this is our plan. This is the movie we'd like to make. Let's just say some said, okay, let's make a movie about Dessalines. This movie is long overdue, people. We were supposed to have a movie about our greatest warrior of all time on our time here. We were supposed to have a movie about ancient Egypt. We were supposed to have a movie about Annabelle Barker. But why you think none of these movies be made? Finance. Because none of us willing to take the first step to invest. Imagine all of us here. We all decide. We said, okay, we got to make a sacrifice to make this movie. Let's just say each of us gave $50 for that movie. Let's just think about let's take 20 million of us here. Put $20 or $50. We can fund 2 major movies. And these movies gonna make enough money where we don't need to invest after that. That movie gonna recycle and finance itself, and then that's it. That's all it takes. But when are we gonna do that? When are we gonna do that? It's because we don't believe in each other, man. And the mindset and how Hollywood in the music industry prepped us to go against each other. Because the goal of hip hop, when you listen to hip hop music, it's pretty much anything that I can inflict hate and pain into you, it's cool. So we become a generation of hatred because it's cool for me to act like I'm better than you. It's cool for me to try to have sex with your girlfriend. It's cool for me to fuck your wife. It's cool for me to just, look down on you, to say you a bitch, to do. It's cool to do everything that we're supposed to do that bring us together. It's cool to do it. This is what they done to us, and they will pay us money to do that to each other. This is your deal. This is your label deal. This is your contract. This is your record deal. You're gonna pay $5, $3, $4, $5, $10 million in the contract deal so you can rap about these things. And when you rap, you create that world because we are what we call the builders. We come from the original. We are the sorcerer. What we said come to reality. What we do become a reality. But unfortunately, that reality that we create, we only want to live in it. So we being fucked by our own reality. The only way we can reverse this shit if we start making movie and make that movie about our greatness. So we reverse the fucking force field. So when people watching these movies, they all recalibrate their perception about us. So now we become what we was destined to be, builders. Did you guys realize this movie is the first time ever that you saw a black guy playing that style of movie with powers and he's the lead? I mean, this is so primitive and so sick and sad. We in 2020. This is the first time you saw a black guy playing movie trying to save his family using some sort of a superpowers and stuff, and he's the leader of it. And he have no sidekick. He doing it by himself. That shit is crazy. This is what we need to keep doing, man. We just got to fund it our project. So, like I was saying, so we going out there. I'm gonna post again. Everybody in here tonight, I have a channel. It's dedicated for film, which I'm gonna do once a week. It called Shankan Studio. I'm gonna write it down again. Just be subscribing that channel. It's gonna be solely for films and reviews and animes and other stuff we can talk about in the film world. It's Shankan Studio. Just type it out and become, subscribe to it. So when we have our next gathering, we can just go straight to that. So I just type it down. So you can write it anywhere with caps or without caps. It don't matter. It will link you to it. It's called Shankan Studio if you just write it down. Yeah, it's Shankan Studio. Yeah. They'll be able to join me on there. Yeah, yep. Man, it's about to be 2 hours. Damn, I didn't even feel like it was going all that time. Time flies. So, but I see any question. Yeah, let me take a couple questions and I'll be dip. You guys gotta go see Jupiter Ascending. I said it before. To me, based to my experience and what I know, because when you judge a movie, you not only judge the movie based to to the level of the work or the effect and all the production side. It's just the story side of it. I think to me the greatest movie of all time, me personally, my greatest movie of all time. A lot of people will beg to differ with other stuff, but that's them. But I'm talking about the science, the knowledge, and the truth, and how they formulate everything together to give you that truth. And it's the truth, but with a slight of different, is Jupiter Ascending. Jupiter Ascending is the greatest movie of all time. It's the movie that tells you the ultimate truth, and that's why they sabotaged the movie. This movie lost 150 million. It cost 250 million to make, and they lost 115 million out of it. So they do not recoup the money that they put out. But it was a calculated movie to they sabotage it because this movie put out too much fucking truth. And this movie come out, it was right there in the time that we in right now. What we going through right now with all these indictment, with all these human trafficking, with all these what you call adrenochrome. Jupiter Ascending exposed adrenochrome way back. And that was what they afraid of because the movie was exposed, exposed that shit in it. So they sabotage it. And that was what that movie showed in Adrenochrome. And in that movie, the only thing that's different in that movie, which they show you it's a planet, they have to travel from space, even though they show you the truth, but they still use the notion of travel from deep space, which is bullshit. There's no such thing as space. It's dimension. But what they show you as truth is that every time those ship about to go to these so-called world, they just show you that a portal opened and they went through the portal. That is the truth. That's what you call time travel. So they can even deny that. They show you that they jump a dimension. They go to a different time, periodic timetable. So it's jumping dimension. But when they show you the sphere, planet spinning around, they go inside, it's all bullshit, computer generated. And no such thing as that. But again, as a movie, you got to still keep a protocol or certain things in society. So you keep the people, whoever gonna know, but you got to keep making people comfortable to what they know. So at least you're not completely put the shit out there. So those that know are not going to come and sabotage. But anyway, they still sabotage the movie. So one of the greatest technology, they show you these so-called, you call them entities or you call them alien. These beings are not aliens. These beings are us in a different time table. Or these beings are us, or these beings are species that's here today that evolve. Or these beings are us that evolve on a certain timetable, because we do time travel in a time zone that evolve in a time zone. Now we think they are different species, but in reality, there's them. It's almost like a butterfly. A butterfly just was a maggot growing up, then it turned to a moth, and it turned to a butterfly. So that shit, what evolution? It's the same thing. We have species here right now that we see as normal little animals or see as normal insect. 100 years or 1,000 years from now, they're gonna evolve to something else. And that's your insectilians. Okay, humanoid insect. You have them right now. That's your ant. Right now, they're in a subatomic level of evolution. So you think they are just little small bug walking. But 1,000 years or 300 years from now, the energy of the planet will be different. They evolve. Now they're bigger because I told you gamma rays is getting into the planet. So things is changing. I said that in plenty time in many video. That's your coronavirus, they labeled, because it's gamma rays. Gamma rays is changing the evolution state of species on the earth. So a lot of things they depicted as species is different. No, it's not. There's things that live here with us now in a different timetable. They evolve. So they become your alien that they want to market as alien, but it's not. Those are your species that's here. So what they call you your reptilian, they show you in the movie. Because I always told you that was always some sort of, vendetta to show you the reptilian is evil, is devils, because the reptilian is you. A lot of us, mostly what you call melanin people, melanoids, we have reptilian genetics. In a different timetable, you will shift. You have the ability to shift as a reptilian. And a lot of us, our fate, when we become the metamorphosis or when we become the evolution state, when we get off from that cocoon, a lot of us going to turn to a reptile. It's fact. And no, you can do about it. And what you call your little alien, the little poly, the grays and shit, this is, I told you before I explain it, it's because in the future, those beings evolve in a layers of existence. What you call Earth, I told you, it's different layers. It's an it's a ripple effect. So if you put a vibrator into the water, you'll see the water create a ripple effect. So pretty much that effect, each layers of an effect is a world. So each world have different form of existence, but it have a source where it began. It began from the start, beginning of the vibration center core, and it ripple from different layers. So these beings is us in different time zone. So in the Jupiter Ascending, they show you all of their asses. This movie was so crazy. It's just the story of it also. Instead of having, because look what the story they gave you. They told you this girl come from Russia, family was from Russia, and the father, he was, using the telescope to looking at Jupiter. He was always fascinated with it. And then one day, while he's in the house, intruder come in, they just trying to steal everything, but they was trying to steal his telescope, and he trying to fight back, and he got shot. But here's the deal. The wife was pregnant. What I want you to know about this movie is the fact that the knowledge that these people have. That's why I told you, do not sleep on Hollywood. These people know shit. They show you that he called that daughter Jupiter. That's why I tell people the reason why Haiti is cursed. I call it a curse. Yeah, Haiti is cursed. I use that term curse, but in reality, the spirit is mad with Haiti. And Haiti is in a lockdown because the spirit decide to make sure that we suffer for the fuckery that we did. See, in the movie Jupiter Ascending, he called her Jupiter from the planet Jupiter. But it's about the time that he named that baby. He named it before he died, and inside of her belly, the baby was there. He was touching the wife's belly, and she called that baby. Then the wife said, "You better not call my baby Jupiter." What happened is that name is frequency, and name is what you call gravitation pull. Your name is a gravitation pull. So basically, in that movie, the moment that the father named her Jupiter, the essence from that person, because remember, she's a queen. In the other world, in the parallel world where the world is more advanced, she was a queen. So when that queen killed herself from that world, she ascended to be in a human body. So the name itself pulled that soul inside of that woman's belly to become human. So that's why these species come from different dimensions to come after her, because they know the soul that's inside of her belonged to the queen of the other world that she's from. So name, they automatically show you that name is a gravitational pull. That when you call yourself a name, you are pulling energies from different realms to come down and inhabit your body. So the name Jupiter Ascending was a name that she called out from a higher realm, a world that much more advanced. When the movie they show you an alien world, that spirit come inside of that woman, and that woman happened to give birth to her, and then she was a normal person as human. So she live as human, but for the other species, she ain't no human. She's royalty. This is what I was trying to say to most of us. A lot of us here is royalty. We don't come to we yes, we're in a human body, but where are we from? We come from big and advanced world. We decide, a lot of us come here to help. We come here to raise the vibration of this planet. We come here to sacrifice our existence. We come from a higher realm. We sacrifice to live among the filth just to make sure this planet evolve. But you have a lot of species too. I call them species. Those are what we call evolution through time, because if they're here around us, we will not identify them, but because they come from a different time zone, but they was here at one point that evolved. It's almost the same thing. Imagine all the knowledge I have right now in technology. If I go to a remote area in Haiti where people don't have electricity and a lot of stuff, if I go around them with technology, they're going to think I'm some sort of an alien. You know what I'm saying? It's the same context, same format. That's why these people in power in the government, they actually keep us in the primitive state. They hide technology. They keep technology away from us so they can play God. Because the more you dumb down the population, you're gonna be God in front of them. Because when you use technology that's far more ahead of them, they're gonna feel like shit. I'm useless and I'm helpless. That's why they never feel like to release technology to us. They don't want us to catch up. Because if we catch up, they can control us. So that's your format of alien. These motherfuckers ain't no alien. That's us, in a different timetable. So that movie was amazing how they depicted everything. You know what I'm saying? It's dope as fuck. And one of the part of the movie is just to show you how they tell the truth. Remember, Channing Tatum, he was playing the guy that protected her. Guess what? He was an albino breed. He was what? Your mankind. He was a mankind in the movie. When he told you what is genetic structure, he told you the exact format of what you call the Neanderthal, the gene splicing of rats and wolf. That's how they create that's your Frankenstein. So off bat, they tell you the truth. And he was albino. That's how pale skin was created, genetically spliced. So this movie was telling you too much truth. And again, what life she have? She come from the boat to the America. This represent your slave movement. This represent the slave that come from the boat to America. What job she was doing? Cleaning bathroom, housekeeping. This is the job of black people when they come here, those African that come here trying to do domestic work. So this movie was strictly about you. And again, when he took her, because she was amazed, like what the fuck, she couldn't believe. She took her in the area that's like a house with, the house looked like it's like one of these countryside and they have a lot of honey. I mean, not honey, like a lot of bees. Queen bee. The bee identify her as the queen. Who have the, listen, the society, the culture of kings and queens come from us. So off bat, this movie was about us. Okay? And they always calling her your majesty. Not my queen. Your majesty. Your majesty. So she was a magical person. Your magi. The one that control everything. Your majesty. These people know who you are. Okay? And again, they have bounty hunters. They show you a black guy, completely super dark skin. We've been doing this. You know how many bounty hunter we have as different species that we call them species, but this is us in a different time zone. They've been coming in and out here, going after different motherfuckers, that intruders, that they come here to eliminate their asses here. That's us. We've been doing this. This is your, pretty much, when you saw a ship, that's them coming here for a different reason. And they're not travel planet. Planet don't exist. This is an animation by NASA. NASA been fucking lying all day life. Armstrong going to the moon was stage. Everything is a fake stage and shit. They do not travel space. Okay? This is a fucking dorm. This shit is, it's locked. Okay? This is a dorm. You cannot get outside of this shit. This dimension. You have to jump dimension out of here. And these dimension is layers of what you call ripple effect of time travel. That's it. They have videos of a ship that they saw before. They're just going, you know, going to a altitude and a little bit up, and they saw you with some sort of the dome just open. The dome open, and they just get out from the dome. It's fact. This shit, like, we supposed to know that. There's no debate. So this movie show you also when they took her. They take her to the off world. She go into the off world. They show you about nationality, people. These people know. She have to claim to be the mother of humanity. So she is the boss of all humans. So she have to be claim the birthright of all humans. And you know who she was using to get that? An android. The android come in, the android like, I'm going to be a representative, like a lawyer. And then they go into different department to claim to be the owner of all human, or the human's right to be the right of all human. This is your matriarch. This is your the mitochondria DNA. So this is the black woman saying that I'm the mother of humanity. So she have to go claim it. And they show you the android was responsible to go to all these departments in order for her to get that. And it was a tattoo in her arm. Okay? And what was that android? The android represent your internet. The android represent the internet system today. All right? They represent the knowledge from technology. So if we don't get these knowledge to know who we are, we will not claim our birthright. Remember, when that android represented her into the movie, it was other species that was mad. It's almost like, shit, she gonna get the claim, she gonna get the birthright. Because the internet is your ultimate archives right now. Before they control, they shut down the internet, this is where you'll be able to find information that they've been hiding. Okay? This movie was amazing, man. And what they was trying to do, they show you the hierarchy of these creatures. Their goal is to harvest humanity. What is harvest? It takes 100 humans to produce the liquid they need to stay young. This is adrenochrome. Okay? And they told you they live millennia, 14,000 millennia. So what they call harvest is pretty much they using humanity as a food source. This is your children being missing. Off bat, this movie was showing you this shit for a long time. This movie come out in 2007. They were showing you shit way back. I don't know. I probably won't. Probably a bit later than that. I'm not sure. So this movie, this is what this movie was showing you. Shit that happened today. This movie was showing you this shit way back. Okay? So when you see the Beirut, all of this explosion of different shit, this is what happened in the movie when they come to extract the girl on Earth. When all these spaceships were shooting, all these buildings was exploding. This is what's happening right now. All these explosions from all these buildings that's happened. It's not only Beirut. They have different places. Those are adrenochrome facility they destroy. This movie was showing you that. And that specific scene in the movie when they was giving you the girl the knowledge about how they stay younger and the purpose of Harvest Planet. When they get to the process, when they finally told her they harvest human, they showing you a black person that a needle went inside of his brain and remove the liquid inside of the black person. So off bat, they told you they harvesting melanin to stay young. This is your adrenal corn. Okay? And they need the ownership of the earth to harvest it. So the ownership represent get your nationality, claim a nationality, build a nation, and get together. They could not do it. If we separate the way we are, they're gonna do what we need to do. That's why in the movie they was trying to marry the girl, because by alliance, then I have the birthright. I will claim it for myself. So off bat, they show you nationality when we're gonna make contract and treaties to decide that we're gonna do this together. So if we band together, they can't do shit. But if we separate everybody for themselves, we fucked. That's what this movie was about. This movie was dope, man. Dope movie, man. Watch this shit again. Yeah, 2015 is when it released. Yeah, this movie was amazing, man. You know, and again, this guy at the end of the movie, he got wings. That was Heru. He fly at the end of the movie. His ring, you know, grow back. Heru. So they don't make mistakes, man. Shout out. This is the greatest movie of all time because it gave you all the knowledge you need to know about everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It's 2 hour, 10 minutes. I reach my limit. Thank you, everybody. Spread the love. Again, make sure you guys check Shankon Studio. You know, subscribe in Shankon Studio so we be able to do movie down the line. So, final word. I'm gonna have the music video come out next week. It's a short film. We're gonna have our first music video for Pray and be ready by next week. This is like, oh my goodness, we the first artists out there that come out with a video raising awareness about the children. Save the children, save our children, raise the awareness about all these kidnapping and all these children missing and shit. We the first that come out with that. All these celebrities, they all don't say shit. So I hope anyone up in this chat raise awareness all over. Do not support these artists. You know, Cardi decided to come out with wet ass pussy when children need to be saved out here. So we know who they are. This is the perfect time to really shed the dead weight, to really like, okay, I will not put my energy in these motherfuckers and start creating a new world, start supporting the new ways where we all decide that we're going to move forward instead of getting distracted. So all of these celebrities make a conscious decision to not say shit about these babies out here. So our video is strictly about raising awareness for these children, and it's coming through, and you guys are going to love it. I'm not going to say anything, but when it come out, you guys will see. But dope shit. So thank you guys. Good night. Appreciate it. I have to share that knowledge with y'all, man. Thank you. And have a wonderful night, y'all. And peace out. One love, y'all. All right.